Ever heard of Simon Goldhill, the University of Cambridge professor who resigned a couple of months ago after a sexual assault investigation? What about Dr. Peter Hutchinson? 10 female undergraduates made complaints against him for sexualised and sexist language. The University of Cambridge allowed him to continue in his role, but with some restrictions. When he broke those restrictions, he was permanently excluded from the university, then reappointed 2 years later, although he later resigned. What about Professor David Latchman? He presided over a laboratory that for over a decade consistently produced fraudulent research, including manipulating images and making up data. He's now the Vice-Chancellor of the University of London. Do you know who Sylvia Bouffoni-Paus is? 13 papers either authored or co-authored by her had to be redacted due to data and image manipulation. She still works at the University of Manchester today. I'm guessing for 99% of you, the answers were no, you've never heard of them. And I'm only picking on those 4 people due to brevity. This video could be 10 times longer. But you've all definitely heard of Jason Arday, who tragically died yesterday. Let's just assume for this mind experiment that every accusation against Arday is correct. He plagiarised his thesis, he could talk before he was 11, and he exaggerated how much money he'd raised for charity and distances walked. Do you think the media attention given to Arday's alleged wrongdoings is proportional to the wrongdoings of the academics I previously mentioned? Even after he said he couldn't handle the media attention and resigned, the media still hounded him with stories such as Arday was late for work. And if you believe that Arday's alleged wrongdoings received a disproportionate amount of media attention, why do you think Arday received the kind of scrutiny that these other academics did not?
Let me tell you about the story of William O'Reilly, who's also a Cambridge professor, who just 3 years ago was found to have plagiarized more than 12 pages of text lifted word for word from essays that 2 of his different students wrote, essays which he had commended and then took as his own, published in an academic journal, passed off as his own writing. In 2021 was when one of the students initially discovered this had happened. It took 2 years for the university to take this through a tribunal process, and guess what they deemed at the end of it? They said at the end of that tribunal process that William O'Reilly had accidentally plagiarized. Oopsie, he said he had placed those 12 pages of text from 2 students' essays as merely a placeholder in his journal article draft, and then oops, published it, taking all of the credit for it. Where was the media fanfare? Where was the media frenzy? Where was the intense scrutiny into not just his professional and public life, but his personal life? I went to medical school at Cambridge. I am the child of factory workers. I can attest that Cambridge and other elite institutions that I have studied at are not safe spaces for people of colour, let alone black people. So the news today that this media lynching ended in Jason Arday's death is not even surprising to me. It is a gut punch, it is sickening, it's stunning, but it's not a surprise.